The final word. Let this disaster die and bury it deep. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl was never destined to be a lasting legacy. It wasn't even destined to be good. From the moment it was conceived, it was nothing more than a shameless cash grab. A hollow, soulless imitation of a genre I love, thrown together without a shred of passion, creativity, or respect for players like me. What could have been a love letter to Nickelodeon's incredible history, a celebration of the characters I grew up with, was instead reduced to a poorly executed, half-baked mess that insulted both the legacy it borrowed from and the players it was meant to entertain. The harsh reality is this. The franchise is irreparably broken. Any attempt to resurrect it wouldn't just be pointless. It would actively drag down the already plummeting standards of quality that gamers like me expect and deserve. This isn't just a failure. It's a betrayal, and as a player, I have every right to be furious. I've seen this game described perfectly. It's the gaming equivalent of being promised a gourmet meal and getting served a microwaved Hot Pocket with the wrapper still on. It's not just bad, it's insulting. It's a masterclass in how to ruin a good idea, like they took everything fun about fighting games, threw it in a blender, and then forgot to plug the blender in. This isn't just disappointment, it's disgust. I didn't just expect better. I demanded it, and what I got instead felt like a slap in the face. To the die-hard fans, stop being part of the problem. If you're still holding on to the delusional hope that GameMill will somehow deliver a miraculous update, or that NASB 3 will rise from the ashes like a phoenix to save the day, it's time to wake up. Stop throwing your money at a sinking ship that's been abandoned long ago. Your loyalty isn't noble, it's naive. You're not supporting a dream. You're funding a scam. Every dollar you spend on this franchise is another signal to the developers and publishers that they can keep getting away with this. Your hope isn't inspiring. It's being exploited. And you deserve better than to be led down the same treacherous path over and over again. I've said it myself. If you're still defending this game, you're either a shill or you've got Stockholm Syndrome. There's no third option. The fans who keep saying just wait for the next patch are the reason companies like GameMill think they can keep selling us garbage. Stop enabling this. Blind loyalty isn't just misguided, it's complicit. You're not just victims of this disaster, you're perpetuating it. To the YouTube shills and echo chambers, you're not helping. And don't even get me started on the so-called content creators. The YouTube shills and echo chambers who continue to defend this dumpster fire of a franchise. Their desperate attempts to prop up a dead game don't make them look optimistic. They make them look complicit. They hype this game to high heaven, peddling false promises and recycled marketing buzzwords, and now they're scrambling to justify their own bad faith. They need to own up to the fact that they helped sell a product that never delivered. They should stop recycling tired narratives about potential and future updates and start promoting games that actually deserve their audience's trust. Anything less, and they're just perpetuating the cycle of deception. I've lost count of how many times I've thought this. These YouTubers are just as guilty as GameMill. They sold their integrity for a few views and some ad revenue. They're not gamers, they're grifters. Every time I see a NASB is secretly good video, I lose a little more faith in humanity. These people are either lying or delusional, and either way they're part of the problem. The anger isn't just directed at the game. It's directed at the entire ecosystem that allowed it to fester. And the influencers who propped it up are squarely in the crosshairs. To GameMill, Nickelodeon, and all the misguided stakeholders, you're the real villains. But the real villains here are the ones at the top. GameMill, Nickelodeon, and every other stakeholder who signed off on this disaster. It's time to face the truth. The franchise is dead. Not dying, dead. And no amount of desperate updates, DLCs, or half-hearted apologies can bring it back to life. Instead of pouring resources into resurrecting a failed concept, why not try something radical? Like creating something original, something meaningful, something that doesn't reek of corporate greed and laziness. The gaming community has grown beyond the era of licensed cash grabs and empty marketing schemes. There's no honor in chasing the ghost of a failed franchise. There's only the bitter taste of regret and the loss of trust that can never be recovered. I've said it before and I'll say it again. GameMill and Nickelodeon don't care about gamers, they care about your wallet. They're not artists, they're con artists. They took something I loved as a kid and turned it into a soulless product. This isn't just bad business. It's a betrayal of everything Nickelodeon used to stand for. The anger here isn't just about a bad game. It's about the erosion of trust, the exploitation of nostalgia, and the cynical commodification of something that should have been sacred. The rotten core of NASP's ecosystem. The ecosystem that gave birth to NASB isn't just flawed, it's rotten to its core. This is a franchise that has repeatedly let down its community, exploited its fans, and relied on hollow hype for success. It's not the inherent idea of a Nickelodeon fighting game that's flawed. It's the execution, the neglect, and the sheer lack of accountability that have sealed its fate. From the buggy mechanics to the lackluster roster, from the broken promises of post-launch support to the laughable attempt at competitive balance, every aspect of this game screams incompetence. And yet, the developers and publishers have the audacity to act like they're doing us a favor. I've seen indie games with one developer that run better than this trash. What's GameMill's excuse? They promised us the moon and gave us a rock with moon written on it in crayon. And people still defend this? The frustration isn't just about the game's shortcomings. It's about the broken promises, the missed opportunities, and the galling lack of accountability from those responsible. The community's verdict. Let it burn. The consensus is clear. This franchise doesn't deserve a second chance, or a third, or a fourth. NASB isn't just dead. It's a zombie, and the only way to deal with zombies is to shoot them in the head. Let it die. Let it rot. Let it be a cautionary tale for every developer who thinks they can get away with this. The anger, the betrayal, the sheer exhaustion. It's all there, and it's how I feel as a player who's been pushed too far. Enough is enough. Let this disaster die, and let's move on to something better. By refusing to support the perpetuation of this cycle, we can send a clear message to those who profit from our misplaced hope. We demand quality, respect, and genuine innovation. The time for recycled promises and half-hearted updates is over. The future of gaming belongs to those who dare to be different, who strive for excellence, and who understand that real value isn't measured in hype. It's measured in heart, creativity, and respect for the community. So as a player, I'm standing up, speaking out, and investing in games that truly matter. Let the remnants of NASB fade into oblivion, and let's forge a path toward a gaming landscape that rewards passion over profit, creativity over cash grabs, and integrity over empty promises. The final nail in this coffin has been driven home. Now it's time to bury it and never look back.